can't slot it in because your pedals will catch. So you got to go to back wheel, which doesn't make it easy.
Montalvo is in the section. He had a big crash in the semi-final, and that's why he only got fourth in the semi-final. He won the last World Cup in Italy in Val di Sole, and let's see what he can come up with here. He tried. He tried to get more speed, that he turned into the run-up, and he's up on.
Oh, jumping back.
1 or 2 points. Let's
see. You see, so the pedal and the crank caught, so that was a point. They haven't given him. You'll see the dots at the bottom of the screen. They haven't given him, but
let's
I
see
just
the
think
hands
that
for the judges. And he's up on another.
Up and using the crank of the bike twice, so
he has 2 points.
That's 2 points so far.
And now is the gap where Lucien had to get up to his pedal. So for those of you new to trials, is that anything but the tires can touch the obstacles. Everything else will give you penalty points.
All right, and how the
he crossed the arrow. Did you see it? Yeah. The axle crossed the left arrow, the gate on the left side, and that is a 5.
Yeah. So essentially, how the riders know where to go is they've got to follow between those arrows in numerical order. So each gate has a number. The rider has to enter into the section and then get through each of the gates as they go through the section and get to the end there. As you can see, the amount of effort he put in to try and get up there, having to jump.
Points in the semi-final, and he's unfortunately not.
Yeah, Benito's ankle even today was swollen up to double its size.
Yeah.
He just didn't have the flexibility. I can't believe he even tried to ride.
No.
All right, so
Montalvo. The wonder kid.
Yeah, only 17 years old, and yet already won a World Cup.
He's the current leader of the overall in the World Cup, after winning the last World Cup, and he got into the final in the first one in Austria.
Yeah. And this kid's mental focus is just insane. When he gets into the competition, just look at that. There's nothing around him. He focuses so well. Everything is just blacked out, and he just looks at the rock ahead and just pushes his way through. Really is just a very, very, very focused and controlled bike rider.
And I want to give a shout out to everyone in Indonesia and United States. So nice that you're following us here from Antwerp today. And the Precision Master, straight to 2 wheels.
Look at that control, not even hopping the bike, trying to find a balance point, he was just there.
Yeah.
All right, so the big jump onto the front wheel. Oh, nice, he does. Oh, did his foot touch there?
Yeah, definitely touched there. Let's see what the judges, yeah, they gave him 1 point.
All right, nicely controlled.
Yeah, and he has plenty of time. He has plenty of time to finish the last 2 obstacles. 23 seconds left when he jumps off the last obstacle, and it's 1 point.
You see Joachim standing behind him. Oh, sorry.
The Montalvo is first.
Montalvo is on first. But the riders will watch the riders that leave last. In other words, that the higher up you qualified, then or that you got through to the final, that determines your position for the sections. So the better your result this morning means that you will leave last. And it's definitely a benefit because the riders can watch what the other guys are doing and learn. So you can see, not getting traction here, or that didn't work, and maybe try a different technique.
And we want to say hello to all the viewers and riders in Finland and Hong Kong. Thanks for tuning in and watching this live broadcast from the UCI Trials World Cup in Antwerp. And Montalvo is struggling a lot with this obstacle.
Yeah. It's getting that traction. Oh, there we go, hooking it.
Yeah, you could see his face like, now I have to do it.
Yeah, he knows, but the problem is he attempted that 3 times, and what about time? Do you think he's got enough time to, even if he gets everything else perfect?
Yeah.
I
think 20 seconds at this moment is enough.
Yeah.
But now we don't have the on-screen information, so he has one obstacle left. Or is it more? No?
Yeah, two gates.
Yeah,
two gates left. Yeah. He's got this big hook to the top there. He will need to get this first time. Oh no!
And he was a bit off center. I think you have to be and pinpoint with the front wheel on the top of the rock.
You can see, if you look on the top of your screen, there's that edge, and now you can see the other side of the rock. Look how narrow the gate is. You've got to go through those arrows and really hook that tire on that like flat edge. There we go. As you can see, when he caught that edge, pull himself through.
And what was the score? We don't
1 point on time.
1 point on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's well done.
UCI is the minder of Alejandro Montalvo.
Yes, the previous Belgian top rider.
Yeah. And now
maximizing his potential.
He's also very smooth on the bike, so on like things like this, he might not get right to the top, but he can manage to just roll that bike just that centimeter further. Oh, but also struggling.
Yeah.
As you can see there, that is very high.
Yeah. It's really hard because you need to get your front wheel all the way to the top.
Can you hold it? Oh, no.
It's not enough friction. He's going to try to get up to 2 wheels and maybe put a foot. And that was not working.
This must be so frustrating. He's so close, but so far. You know, you've got to get through that gate. It's the first gate. You want to get into the section.
It's not working. Let's see if he can come up with another solution, because if he finds out...
The time is ticking away. Yes! No, nice! That is awesome!
And that is so technical.
I would have thought that's more difficult than the hook, but if you can't get up on the hook... Now look at this. So that rock ahead of him is as high as his handlebars is. He's got to clear that loose gravel and taking the dabs. You see, as that front wheel landed, he put his foot down, and that was on purpose to save it.
Yeah, and you see now he had 30 seconds left, 1 penalty point so far, and he's gonna struggle with the time. And now he's really tired after all these tries on the first obstacle. He wants to rest, I guess.
Yeah, but there isn't time for resting.
Yeah. He keeps it. Yeah, the control is insane.
Oh,
and this one, another big move, yeah. Easily. That was no problem.
And now the big pedal up to the top. Yes!
There's no problems. And he has 3 points for time, and he's out, and they give him 3 or 4 points.
4 points.
Said 4
Talk
points.
about a fighter. I don't think I've ever seen anybody work as hard at a section as what he's just done. I couldn't even speak through that one. That was just amazing. Fighting every rock with everything he had. Well done there to Alejandro.
And he's so creative. He comes up with... And that was his last section in this final.
Now, Alejandro is going to want to... He's got a point to prove here.
Yeah.
He's very competitive, and this is going to be big.
And I'm trying to see if we have the live results ahead of us here. So at the moment,
achterover krijgen dan. En dan vol voetballen naar de overkant. Daar gaat dan. Ja!
Look at that, yes, pulling it straight to the top, getting his weight all the way over the handlebar, just literally ripping it up there, putting everything he had in. Still 0 points.
Yeah, he's
Minute and a
currently
half.
in third with only 2 points from being first. So the score is at, as we speak, Dominic with 9 points after 4 sections, Thomas with 10 points after 4 sections, and Montalvo with 11 points.
Yeah.
So anything can happen.
Anything can happen, yeah. And this is what we like to see. A clean from him just puts so much pressure onto Dominic and Thomas. So he's got to get through here on 0 points, and if he can do that, then he's got a good chance at a second World Cup win in a row.
Yeah, and the worst position for Montalvo today will be third place, because the 17 points is losing at, and Montalvo can get the maximum of 16.
Yeah. So in other words, everything to win, nothing to lose.
Yeah, there is nothing to lose.
Flat out. And Montalvo loves kickers.
Yeah.
We know that. So
Remember
let's see if
last
he can do
year
it.
going
Yeah.
to front? That was a legendary moment. He used the kicker and did front to back.
And he's
on the
going to have
landing.
that in his mind when he hits
Yeah.
this. Come on, let's see what he can
Come
do.
on.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, he grabs
Oh.
it.
Did he touch? No.
No, he didn't touch.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Oh, it's
they
2
gave him.
points. Yeah.
Yeah,
One,
they
and that
gave him.
was the crank. And he's out.
Yeah, and that means that the pressure is on Dominic and Thomas. So let's see what they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Montalvo with 13 points in total. That means that Thomas can drop a maximum of 3 points in the section now.
Yeah.
And to be sure, he needs.
The winner of today of this World Cup in Antwerp, representing Spain.
And this is for a second event in a row.
Second event
World
in a
Cup
row.
in a row.
And his second one ever.
Second one
win
ever. It's Alejandro Montalvo. And the amazing thing is, he fought back. He was way off. We didn't even consider him for the win. He opened up in the last 2 sections.
Yeah,
Fought
absolutely
like a
brought it back.
beast and won it. Look at that. Very, very happy. And I can only imagine there's going to be very many more top steps of the podium for this youngster.
Yeah, it's unreal.
18
Like,
years old.
I mean, his riding's incredible, and it's so consistent. He's so focused, and he's driven. I mean, it's so good to see.
What a podium.
Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
such nice guys there on the podium. All of them super friendly. Just always into it, promoting the sport. Just their good brand representatives, and yeah.
Absolutely.
Alejandro Montalvo, winner of the World Cup. And Alejandro, we have an extra for you. We have also the jersey of the leader in the World Cup. And it's also Björn Legein who gives you this shirt for the leader in the World Cup. A nice one. Magnifique. Het is nog een beetje oefenen, maar het lukt hoor.
So that definitely puts Alejandro in the lead of the UCI standings. So going into Berlin, he stands a very good chance of taking the overall win this year in the UCI World Cup.
Do we have enough
And
yes, we have.
for an 18-year-old to be in that position, unbelievable. Well done to
Unbelievable.
him.
Unbelievable. Riding so well. And do you know what? If you looked at his power output, you know, in terms of like just pure strength moves, Montalvo, out of the three of them on the podium, you'd say he's probably the weakest. But it just shows that actually technique, consistency, precision, everything is still there, and you can still beat. I mean, Thomas is such a tank, and so just Dominic, they're so strong, go absolutely huge.